Hi, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Trevor, and thank you for joining us today. Today is a very special episode. This would be our third catching up on Blu-ray, this time for the month of December 2018. So if you're not familiar, the format of these particular episodes is Kyle and I will be looking over the upcoming Blu-ray releases through the entire month of December 2018, from front to back. Without further ado, I guess let's just get to it. First traditional calendar release date in December is December 4th. And right off the bat, wow, December 4th was a big fucking day for Blu-ray releases.
It is December 4th K. This is
December 4K, hell yes.
December 4K. You actually have this one, Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible Fallout, which we both adored.
Yeah, we both saw this movie in the theater, independent of each other, but we're recording this on December 8th, and I actually bought Mission Impossible Fallout on the release day. I'm very excited to rewatch it. More than that, though, maybe I'm excited to take a look at the supplements, because I want to see what went into the stunt work, because I'm kind of all about that. And man, the producers of this film and Tom Cruise himself have been relentless about promoting this film as like a stunt spectacle, like highlight reel. Like I cracked open the case of my disc, and like there's even like a little booklet in there that just like has quotes about like the making of these stunts. Very clearly it's like a huge selling point for a portion of the market. So it would not surprise me if they tried to play that angle again if they make another one. And being as this one was very good, I'd imagine they're going to keep going.
Yeah. The I just got Trevor a gift for Christmas. I got him Archer season 1, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this on an episode, but Henry Cavill's character has a couple of real Archer moments in that movie, so I wanted him to see that just because of this movie.
I'll keep that in the back of my mind when I get to it.
So we have a 4K release of The Lion King. It makes sense. Isn't there a live action Lion King coming out, or a different Lion King?
Live action in quotes.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, it's all CGI, but I would not be surprised if they do like motion capture work for the animal characters. But yeah, the teaser for that movie was released like only a couple weeks ago. So it makes sense that you ride that wave as hard as you can, put out a 4K of the original Lion King movie.
Westworld season 2. I watched the first season of Westworld. I don't need it. You don't need it. It's fine. It got much big. I think it got bigger hype than was warranted. Like, it was fine. It's one of those shows that ends really well on the episodes. So you're like, well, what happens next? And I would say that the TV show Heroes did that really well in the first season, but that show was not very good. They just had a good way of doing cliffhangers.
That's the problem with having that kind of first season, though. It's like that's usually my objection to a lot of TV shows in general. Is the nature of television is to perpetuate the series.
Yeah,
it's like comic books. It's like you don't kill Wolverine, you just you put him on ice for a while and then have him come back, because the second you kill him, you're killing potential stories. And that's usually the idea with a TV series, is why would you end things? Why would you wrap things and put a bow on it when you can just stretch it forever? And that first season really seemed to work for a lot of people, though. I remember like the water cooler chat about that series being kind of obnoxious.
I liked it. It was fine. It's just I didn't need it. True Detective season 1 was awesome. It was fan-fucking-tastic, and I needed it. But the second season was bad, and that's when I realized, I don't need this. This isn't for me now. Like, that first season was good. Same with Westworld. They could have ended it on that first season. It would have been totally fine. And they just nope, we're gonna do another one. Like, okay, whatever.
It's kind of funny. I haven't had access to HBO in quite a while, but one of our former coworkers actually bought me the first season of it because they adored it so much that they insisted I must experience it. It's been like probably a year since then. I haven't watched it. I feel like kind of a shitheel saying that. So I've had it on my shelf for a while now. So after that, we have The Nun. I believe it's a spin-off of The Conjuring.
Yes, it's. I think it's after the second Conjuring specifically. I actually really liked the first Conjuring movie. The second one I don't remember as well. I remember liking it, but I think the first one is really good. And I kind of get it mixed up because it has Patrick. What's his name?
Wilson.
Patrick Wilson. I get the Conjuring mixed up a little bit with Insidious Part 2. Insidious 1 and 2 are awesome. I'll say it every time they come up. But I didn't get a chance to see this, and I think it might be kind of good. I've heard it's pretty scary.
Yeah, I heard it's like kind of a no frills, just spooky jump scare movie. If you're down for that formula, then it'll work for you. I haven't heard it was outstanding in any way, but just, if you're looking for that particular high, it'll scratch that itch.
The next one is the Happy Time Murders, which I was really excited about. I didn't want to see it in theaters. I was going to wait for it to come out on streaming. I still probably watch it. I just looked at the reviews for it. Like, it's like 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb, which is not fantastic, but ouch. I kind of had high hopes for this. I thought it was going to be pretty funny, and I think it's directed by one of the Hensons.
Oh, yeah, I think it's the son.
Yeah.
It's funny. I always bring this up for some reason whenever we're doing these catching up on Blu-rays, but there's a website. It's founded by Dan Harmon. It's called Channel 101 that I used to go to a lot when I was back in high school. And I think the offshoot of Channel 101 was Channel 102, and it was based in New York. And most of the shows sucked, except there were like one or two that were really good. Defenders of Stan was like the one shining example of something good that came out of Channel 102. But there was another show called Puppet Rapist. That as soon as I saw the advertisements for this Happy Time Murders movie, I was like, oh my god, did they like make a Puppet Rapist movie or something?
I'm assuming so.
So I haven't investigated, but I'm curious to see if like maybe one of the people who worked on Puppet Rapist like wrote a script or something that got picked up. But I haven't confirmed. I have no idea. But anyway, moving on.
Got a couple more Westworlds here. Doctor Who, Peter Davison, I'm guessing that's a specific Doctor Who season, like a specific actor who played Doctor Who, because I think that show's been going on since like the 60s.
Yeah. But everybody has their favorite brand. So if you're on the Peter Davison boat, I guess this is for you folks out there.
I wanted to mention Operation Finale. This is interesting because I actually just watched a movie called The Debt with Helen Mirren, a couple of other people, Sam Worthington, Tom Wilkinson.
Oh shit!
And Ciarán Hinds.
One of those people, their value is significantly less than the rest.
He's not in it for very long.
Okay, I was about to say all those other people I'm on board for. Sam Worthington, not so much.
I watched this with my dad, and it's what Operation Finale is. It's these 3 Israeli agents say that this Nazi has been captured or was killed, but actually he got away, and then they have to go find him later in life. And I think it's supposed to be the same story.
Okay.
The Debt came out in 2010, and it wasn't very popular. I can't imagine it was a big hit, at least not with American audiences. It's not bad. Oh, who's the other guy? Damn it.
From The Debt? Or this one?
Yeah, he's in Triple X.
I
can't think of his name.
I'm sorry, the only thing I remember about Triple X is the Russian guy saying, "Bitches gum."
Martin Koskis?
Doesn't ring a bell.
See, yeah, he's in some stuff. But yeah, anyway, it's an okay movie. I wasn't real crazy about it, but this is supposed to be that same story from what I understand.
The promotions for this one looked interesting. I mean, Ben Kingsley, when he comes to play, is always great. And
Sexy
Oscar
beast.
Isaac is, he's a delight, except I prefer seeing him be charming rather than intense. That's just me.
I want to see him do villainous. I don't think I've seen him be a bad guy.
X-Men Apocalypse, that's
Dude,
about
that
it.
doesn't count. It's Oscar Isaac and a 10 pounds of makeup. Like, it's not him.
Yeah, was not happy with that. I don't think anyone was, but my brother told me a Most Dangerous Year is a very good movie.
That's the one that I've had a pin in. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, no, my brother said it's very good because it has that like you think it's gonna be one thing, but it's not. Where it's like, oh, it's a ex mobster, and like there's gonna be that point in the movie where he like gets back into the game and fucks it all up, and it's like it's not that. But moving on, we have Handmaid's Tale season 1 or season 2 rather. Wow,
Yeah.
we're up to season 2 of that.
Yeah.
Which means we're probably on season 3 on TV right now.
Yeah.
That's another show that caught fire pretty quickly. Castlevania season 1. I kind of want to see that because I love those games. Have you seen that? Because you have Netflix.
Oh no, is it on Netflix?
Yeah. I don't have Netflix. It needs to be said. But Castlevania, I mean, it's a Romanian fellow with a whip trying to kill Dracula. Fuck yes.
Sounds like fun.
It is animated though, and I'm not sure how you feel about that.
I've asked for the Batman the Animated Series on Blu-ray, so I'm
Okay,
totally
so
fine with
animation is
animated.
not a problem with you.
No,
But, I mean, it's based on the video games, and I love that franchise. Some of the best music in all of game history. Moving on, what catches your eye next?
The Puppet Masters and the Black Windmill. The Puppet Masters looks kind of cool, looks kind of eerie, and it's got Donald
I
Sutherland.
saw that when I was a kid.
I don't know about all that. He's kind of...
It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but instead of pod people, it's these slug things that attach to the back of your neck.
Yeah, didn't sound that great.
I mean, that would be the reason why Donald Sutherland's in there, because, he was in the 70s Body Snatchers movie.
Yeah, I've got that queued up on my Prime. I need to watch that.
It's very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's one of those movies where, like, my dad has a spotty track record recommending movies to me, but that was, like, one of the good ones.
But this Black Windmill, I haven't seen good young Michael Caine. He definitely did some good movies, but I haven't seen any of them. And this looks like it'd be a good one. It looks like is that a camera or a machine gun? I think
that's a Mac 10.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I don't know. He used to do like British tough guy movies, like Get Carter. I think is like the most famous example. He also did this movie that I'm kind of curious about because it, at the time, it was like making the top of people's like worst movies ever lists. So this was like back in the 70s, though. This was a long time ago, and it's called The Magus. And it just sounds like a complete nonsense art film where it's just like nobody fucking knew what it was supposed to be.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forgot how I completely forget how I found out about it, but I was reading up on it and I was like, wow, this sounds like just a really shit movie that maybe the people who made it thought it was more than it was. And that's always an interesting story for me, like when it comes to how films come together. But moving on, we have a couple of re-releases, like Baby Driver with just like looks like a special cover or something. A re-release of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Something called Attraction that looks like it looks like Skyline or something.
Yeah, it looks like a monster movie of some kind.
Like I want to say Alien Invasion.
That could be.
But Moscow finds itself on the brink of destruction after a mysterious spaceship crash lands in the center of the city. While the government seeks to find out what the ship's passengers want and how to protect the local populace, the rest of the citizens break into conflicting factions. Okay. Sounds very Russian. Moving on.
I like the cover art for Frick Frack, but I don't know what that's supposed to be.
1939. Wow.
Yeah. I'm guessing it'd be black and white. I can't see who's in that. I can't see the
someone. Oh, a couple of people who only have one name. Fernandel, Arletti, Andre, Rene Guenin. I have to assume this is
an
French.
Italian. I was gonna say Italian.
Yeah, no one you or I would know, but Marcel works as an assistant to a jeweler whose bossy daughter Renee keeps hitting on him. When he meets lovely Lulu and her lazy friend Joe, he is fascinated by the girl and somehow attracted by their world. Lulu and Joe are crooks. So it's a caper of some sort. Moving on, something called Sleigh Bells that has, I think that's the Feast of Flesh font. I hope it isn't. G Gundam coming to Blu-ray. For anyone out there who cares about G Gundam, the cover to Ride looks like every other cover we're seeing these days. Like that like Millennial Pink, man, it's no joke. It's everywhere. Steel Arena, I kind of love that cover. From 1973.
It looks like 1973 from that cover.
Yeah. From the Moonshine Run to the Circus of Death.
I can tell you that God Bless the Broken Road is not good, because that is definitely, not there's anything wrong with that, but that is a Jesus movie. Cause
from the director of God's Not Dead.
Yeah, I could have guessed. A Moment in the Reeds, which from the cover makes me think of Call Me By Your Name, and judging by how many of the Sundance olive branches or whatever they are, it looks like it did really well at the independent.
Oak leaf clusters or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like a solid movie just judging by those.
Looks like Call Me By Your Name, The Fault in Our Stars, and I'm trying to think what else has a handwritten font like that. What's it?
Mama?
Swiss Army Man.
The Room. I'm thinking Room, not The Room, but Room.
Oh, Room. Yeah, Room and Swiss Army Man comes to mind also.
I've heard good things about Swiss Army Man, and it was on Prime for the longest time. I just never got around to it.
It looks like one of those movies that's obnoxiously good. Where it's like, this is fantastic. I hate it for it.
Skip. Death Kiss. What is that?
Death Kiss. This movie's apparently very bad, but this Robert Kovacs guy has an uncanny resemblance to Charles Bronson.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was a Charles Bronson documentary.
Everybody did. It even fooled me, dude. I saw the trailer for this like a year ago, and I thought they did like a face replace thing with CGI. But no, he like just Grand looks Moff like Tarkin? That. He's like a half foot taller than Charles Bronson was, but
most people are.
The resemblance really is uncanny, and you know, I'm not surprised that somebody decided to just make a movie to cash in on that.
Yeah, I'm scrolling back through here. I'm not seeing anything else that pops out to me for this day.
Not for December 4th. So let's move on.
Picks up again
on December 11th.
Yeah, December 11th. Maniac.
Yeah, that would be from the 80s. This one has one of cinema's most famous head explosions.
Oh, really?
Tom Savini at his best. Did you ever hear anything about the Elijah Wood remake of it? Because it looked really good.
I didn't know that there was an Elijah Wood remake.
Yeah, it looked good. Like,
did it come out?
A long time ago, like 6 years ago, maybe.
Like most of his movies.
The big gimmick with it is that Elijah Wood plays the titular maniac, but most of it's shot from his like point of view.
Oh, okay.
But it just looked like good filmmaking, and you know, Elijah Wood doing a movie like that is just kind of shocking because he is a good actor and he is known for doing quirky shit, but not like that.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 on 4K.
Okay, so I'm stupid. So I have a Blu-ray player. Would a 4K look 4K on a Blu-ray player or?
So let me explain. No.
Okay,
your Blu-ray player wouldn't even accept the disc.
Yeah. That's what I
in
thought.
order to play a 4K disc, you need a 4K television, as well as a 4K Blu-ray player.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
So it's a bit of an investment.
I'm not there yet.
Well, hopefully you will, because seems like every time we do one of these episodes, 2001 comes up.
It just keeps coming up.
Yep. So beside Evil Dead 2, we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Is that the Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, and I haven't watched it. I've seen like 5 minutes of it. I'm fine.
Yeah, it is the Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey one.
No sale.
I saw part of it when I was young, and I didn't finish it for good reason. Equalizer 2 on 4K and Blu-ray. I'm gonna watch the hell out of that because I can't get enough of those old man on a mission movies.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like ever since Taken, it's just a subgenre that won't go away, but I don't have a problem with it.
I'm not a huge Denzel fan. I just not big on him because this looks like Deja Vu, looks like The Book of Eli, looks like all those movies he does. He's great. I love American Gangster and I love Training Day. But
Glory.
Yeah,
Don't forget Glory.
I was gonna say Remember the Titans was awesome, but that's not big on his action
I
stuff.
happen to really like Denzel, and the first Equalizer was not amazing, but it was good enough. And Antoine Fuqua is the director.
Oh, I'm the outlier when it comes to Denzel. That's usually not a popular. Denzel and Clint Eastwood are two people I'm not big fans of.
I don't have much familiarity with Eastwood. Like, I know him by reputation, and I haven't seen that many of his movies. Like, Unforgiven is, great, and some of those Dirty Harry movies are good too.
For me, they just play the same character in every movie. Clint Eastwood exponentially so. He has made more movies. I think he's made as many movies as L. Ron Hubbard has written fiction. Like, he is on par with him. Yeah, Clint Eastwood has made so many movies, and like he's just the same dude in every movie. But old white guys love it, so they just keep paying for it.
So moving on, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, In the Spirit of the Season. So this is the movie that most people only know for one clip. That would be the iconic Garbage Day clip.
I haven't seen that at all.
Oh, you haven't seen the Garbage Day? I'm going to make you look it up after we finish recording, because it's fucking hilarious. And it was one of those memes that I could have started had there been a YouTube at the time when I found it, because there's a website I used to go to called badmovies.org, and they would do reviews for shitty movies, and on every review page they would post a couple second clip from every movie they'd review, just like highlighting the most ridiculous moments from those shitty movies, and that was the clip that they had on that website. Garbage Day.
Garbage Day.
I don't think it's shown here on this website, but if you actually go directly to the Shout Factory website, Shout Factory being the distributor for this Blu-ray, there's like a super duper special edition of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 that comes with like a 12-inch G.I. Joe figure of the guy that's on the cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's for the diehards only. As far as I know, most of the movie is actually just reused footage from the previous movie. It's one of the saddest sequels I can think of.
I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch the first one.
Moving right along, though. Oh, Popeye.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any of the Popeye cartoons?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I watched them when I was a kid. They were fun.
Yeah. That was more Scooby-Doo when it comes to older cartoons.
Oh, I told you, man. Scooby-Doo was banned in my house.
Yeah, that's stupid.
My mom thought he would make me stupid.
Well, I mean, I'm not the smartest. I'm sure Scooby-Doo in my brain didn't help, but what is this? 40 Guns? I like the cover. It's Criterion, too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
1957.
Yeah.
Tougher than nails landowner Jessica Drummond, Barbara Stanwyck, has ruled over her county in Arizona with such power that even the local sheriff, Dean Jagger, won't stand up to her. And when gunslinger turned U.S. Marshal Griff Bonnell, Barry Sullivan, and his brothers seek to restore law and order, they meet with harsh resistance. That is, until Jessica falls in love with Bonnell. So sounds like a standard Western, but if it's on Criterion, you'd have to imagine there's something special about it.
Yeah. Is this Jennifer Garner in Peppermint?
Yes, it is.
Oh, God.
Referencing her Alias days, I guess. I heard this movie is garbage.
If she's in a movie, it probably is.
I'm not a big fan of Jennifer Garner.
She's not a selling point. I mean, the Dallas Buyers Club is good, not because of her, but she's in a good movie.
She was pretty good in Juno, and I think she plays that character well. Like I think she plays uptight.
She's in that Arthur remake with fucking Russell Brand.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Helen Mirren's great in there. I didn't hate it, but her character is obnoxious. Like, she's annoying, very very uptight. Yeah, not
Yeah,
great.
I think she does that well. But this movie, it's directed by Pierre Morel. It's the guy who did the first Taken movie. And you can tell that it's like we're trying to make Lady Taken or something.
Yeah, that's
everything
what it
I've read
like.
about it sounds just awful. Where it's like there's some really, really, really bad Mexican stereotypes as the villains.
I really want to rewatch Atomic Blonde now because my girlfriend hasn't seen it. You undersold that movie. I really enjoyed that movie. But I think they might be trying to cash in on that too, and they may not realize what made Atomic Blonde so good. And they're like, well, let's just.
Well, I mean, it's no secret in Hollywood right now that getting lady action stars out in these high profile movies is kind of like the move to make right now. It's like there's a lot of public support for that right now.
If you can
can
find
put it
it
together, get it out there, you know.
Yeah, if you find a clip of it, there's a clip where she tries to. Conan she goes on Conan, and as she's coming out, he says something to her, and she goes, "That's not a word, Conan. You should know that. You went to Harvard." And it's like, oh, she's snippy. And she's like, snappy. This is fun. And then Conan looks up the word, and he's like, it's right here in the dictionary. It's a word. Like, yeah, it was pretty good. I'm like, damn, she's kind of a dick.
In the age of cell phones, got to be careful.
So we have De Niro and De Palma. This definitely looks like the early films. I don't know if I've seen a De Niro De Palma film.
I haven't. It says, this is an Arrow distributed box set.
Who did The Deer Hunter?
I think Arrow's based in the UK. They gobble up the rights to some interesting stuff. Not necessarily good, but interesting.
Yeah.
It says 1968 to 1970. And the three movies in there are called The Wedding Party, Greetings, and Hi Mom.
Nope.
And yeah, I've never even heard of any of those.
Nope.
But I have immense respect for both of those people. So yeah,
geez.
No clue what that's all about, but probably worth your time given the talent involved.
Yeah, I kind of stopped believing in older De Niro movies after I watched The Deer Hunter. That really, really pissed me off. I was expecting it to be a much better movie. I'm sure I'm an idiot for not liking it, but I was just kind of burned by that one. I'm like, okay, I got to be careful.
I wouldn't call you an idiot for not liking it, but like Denzel, you're very much in the minority. I know my dad speaks very highly of that movie.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just it's one that I got nothing out of. Like,
Gotcha.
It just didn't do anything for me. What is this? The Mangler? I
I wanted to bring that to your attention because
Okay.
that's Toby Hooper. He's
what?
come up a few times on the show. He did Life Force and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh.
And this is, I think, based on a Stephen King story, but it's like the stupidest concept for a story. It's like a clothing mangler, so like a laundry machine that's possessed by like a demon and it kills people.
It's got Ted Levine and Robert Englund.
It's got, was she a big old fat person?
Was
she a big old fat person?
Toby. It was Toby Hooper. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. I've always been curious about that movie though, because I remember seeing the box at the local rental place, and I've read the description for it so many times. I've just been puzzled by like, how do you make a movie out of this?
Yeah.
With talented people involved.
He did Poltergeist. I forget that he did Poltergeist. It's on the Prime right now, and
Poltergeist is?
Yeah, I need to pull the trigger on it before it's too late.
I would watch it. It's a good time. I mean, just keep in the back of your mind that it was produced by Spielberg, and it'll all make sense.
Okay. Toy Soldiers, which I've heard of, and I get mixed up with Small Soldiers.
I was about to say.
It's a completely different movie, I can definitely tell you that much. It looks kind of like Sleepers a little bit. It's kind of got a Sleepers vibe where these guys might not have had a great time at wherever they were at.
Yeah, the cover of it looks like a stencil of a prep school or something, and all the people on it are lit in blue and black and in heavy shadows. So it looks like it's a heavy story. Holy shit, Sean Astin. Holy shit, Wil Wheaton.
Yeah, Wil Wheaton. That should have told you that it's probably not fun. So it's Red Dawn, except at a prep school. When terrorists seize control of a boarding school, a group of troublemaking boys decide to resist them. I'm gonna pass on that hard.
Oh, dude, look at the cast.
I know.
Amazing. We got Sean Astin. We got
Wishmaster.
Wil Wheaton. We got Lou Gossett Jr. Andrew Divoff. That's the Wishmaster.
Denholm Elliott.
Yeah. From
Does
Indiana Jones.
anybody here speak English?
Yeah. Doesn't anybody here speak English? That's Marcus Brody from Indiana
Marcus Brody.
Jones. And Arlie Ermy. Fuck.
Yeah, he's you can get him. He's not hard.
He's not hard to get, but at like an academy of some sort with him and Lou Gossett Jr., that's like pitch perfect casting.
Yeah.
And like I said, Andrew Divoff, the Wishmaster. That's Wishmaster versus fucking Sean Astin.
Yeah. My money's on Wishmaster. Yeah, I'm not going to watch this.
No, I'm not going to bother with it, but I mean, it was kind of cool looking over that cast, though.
The one that jumps out to me next is Deep Throat.
As in The Deep Throat?
The Deep Throat, yes. I feel like this is one of those movies that I should probably watch at some point. I don't really have a need to watch it. But yeah, I feel like that's one that you're supposed to watch just at some point.
It's a part of, I guess, film history.
Yeah, yeah. A Dry White Season, never heard of it, and this is a Criterion release. And is that, I can't tell if that's Donald
Giamatti? No, it's Donald Sutherland. I thought it was Paul Giamatti.
It looked like Michael Keaton, but it was too old to be Michael Keaton for 1989.
Yeah. Jürgen Prochnow. Your
Ooh,
favorite.
Yes, I do like Jürgen.
Marlon Brando.
Whoa,
what
okay,
the fuck?
What is happening?
Ben Dutoit, or Dutoit, is a school teacher who has always considered himself a man of caring and justice, at least on the individual level. When his gardener's son is brutally beaten up by the police at a demonstration by black school children, he gradually begins to realize his own society is built on a pillar of injustice and exploitation.
Wait till you see how fat Marlon Brando is in this movie. He's enormous. I mean, yeah, he's enormous. How did he get so big?
Concentrated effort. Hard work. Dedication.
It's not hard, man. Skip. Fiend looks kind of like a slasher movie. I doesn't really stick out to me. But what is this Apartment? Jack Lemmon, if I'm not mistaken, is in that movie.
Yes. And Shirley MacLaine. I know her.
Okay. Now I to be honest with you, have only seen Jack Lemmon in the Grumpy Old Men movies or anything with Walter Matthau. I've seen past like 1988. I haven't seen the original Odd Couple. I have wanted to watch it.
I watched a few episodes on Nick at Night. It's good times.
I meant like the actual movie Odd Couple with him and Walter Matthau. Because I really like Walter Matthau. I love that first Bad News Bears movie.
Yeah, my brother too.
It's great. But I feel like there's some old Jack Lemmon movies I need to watch, and this and Some Like It Hot have been on my list Some Like It Hot has been on my list for a while. The Apartment just came out to me recently. I noticed it not too long ago. But yeah, I need to watch some old Jack Lemmon. This is a movie with Galveston, which has Ben Foster, who I enjoy. I haven't heard of this movie, so it probably sucks.
That's my suspicion as well. Although it is about a hitman, so that's something.
I do like him.
I really do like Ben Foster. I'm glad that he's getting higher profile roles in recent years. Because he really is kind of amazing.
I need to see him in that bank robbing movie with I think it's
Chris Pine.
Yeah, Chris Pine.
Hell or High Water. It's very good.
I've heard it's good. I just haven't gotten around to it. What else you got here? Anything else popping up?
The cover to Death Ship's pretty badass.
Yeah, 1980. I can't imagine that's a good movie.
Holy shit! George Kennedy and Richard Crenna.
I have
George
no idea.
Kennedy being from the the Naked Gun movies, and Cool Hand Luke, and Richard Crenna. That would be John Rambo's friend, the colonel.
Okay, yeah.
My dad hates that guy.
I could see it.
My dad absolutely hates Richard Crenna. Like, because he has that like John Wayne swagger, and my dad being ex-military, it's kind of just like, fuck you. Like everything about you irritates me, Richard Crenna.
Ice Cream Man, is that Clint Howard?
Yes, that's the Clint Howard Ice Cream Man.
I have not
on Blu-ray.
I've seen the cover for it. I've just never with him as the Ice Cream Man. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with this cover, because the cover of that movie is the only reason anyone remembers it.
Yeah.
The ice cream cone with the eyeballs on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
We the Marines, you can keep it.
Yep.
The Wild Boys, that is an interesting cover.
Yeah, it's not good. I can tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, that looks weird. Not good, just weird.
This is how you trick people into thinking this is good. Like, this looks like it'd be a good movie because, like, oh, this is it's got a Blu-ray release. It's got a cool cover. Same with await further instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in? I can't see who's in that movie from here.
I'm sure no one you know.
Okay. I couldn't. I didn't know if you could read it on your screen. I couldn't read on the box there.
No, I can't make it out, and I don't care to.
The only other thing that's kind of popping out to me is this Brutal, just because of the cover, and I can't tell what language is that next to it.
That is Japanese.
That's what I thought.
I'm not familiar with this movie, nor am I familiar with the director, but nor am I familiar with the distributor.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what to make of that, but that is a striking cover. That's.
I was gonna say if it is an independent Japanese film from 2018 with that cover, I would say
that title.
tread lightly.
Yeah,
that is
might not want to bring the kids to that one.
I would say don't bring the kids to that one. Yeah, and there's not much else popping out to me on this release date.
Oh shit, there's a documentary called Game Changers: Dreams of BlizzCon. So this would be a documentary promoting esports.
Okay.
Kind of scary. Esports, just the concept of it, like, still blows me away that that's a thing. It's here and now.
Oh yeah.
Moving on down. I don't know anything about this River Runs Red movie, but shockingly enough, it has a 4K release. And Taye Diggs and John Cusack and George Lopez?
That's not good.
What the fuck?
That's not good.
And is this another Hemsworth? Luke? He's born in Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, he's in Westworld.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, those Hemsworth, man.
He is. If you'd seen the first season of Westworld, I would send you a video. He plays the security guard in Westworld, and they do a Funny or Die skit with Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern from City Slickers, and it's pretty funny. But again, you'd have to see the show to understand it.
Okay,
it's pretty funny though.
Let's skip on down to the next week. So December 18th. The big one for you.
Yeah, well, this is
A Space Odyssey on 4K.
This is a big, I think this is probably the biggest one we've had so far. There's a lot on this one.
Yeah, and right next to 2001, Schindler's List on 4K.
I don't know, I feel like if you have it on DVD, you don't need another copy of it. Maybe Blu-ray, but it's not a movie you go for the Blu-ray. That's not... Crisp picture quality is not what I'm looking for in rewatching Schindler's List, to be honest with you. I get maybe since it is black and white, and if you get that on Blu-ray, it could be very just very nice to look at from an aesthetic point of view, not content. But yeah, I don't really feel like you need Schindler's List on 4K. Just saying.
I'm a bad person. I haven't seen it.
Oh my goodness, we can't do an episode on that. You just need to watch that. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I need to watch it, especially since I do actually have some Jewish in the family.
Yeah, you need to watch that.
Murder Starman. That would be
what's that?
I believe John Carpenter's Starman with Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen.
Karen Allen.
Everybody's favorite mom.
I love Karen Allen. She's great.
She just makes you smile.
She does. I love Scrooged is one of my like my number one Christmas movie each year, and she's great in there too.
Yeah, I have a friend who feels the same way, and yeah, she just kind of lights up the screen every time she shows up.
She just has such a charming smile. Yeah, she really does.
Well, like The Sandlot, she's like, "Oh, mom."
Yeah. Murder by
Death.
It sounds interesting.
Peter Falk and
Peter
Alec
Falk?
Guinness.
Oh, Alec Guinness.
Peter Falk.
Murder.
The world's
by
greatest detectives have been invited to dinner, but when murder is on the menu, who will make it to dessert? Wow. Is it actually Columbo?
I mean, no, his name is Sam Diamond.
See, that would be awesome if like Sherlock Holmes and Columbo were in the same room together.
It has Truman Capote in it too.
Oh shit.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, and Maggie Smith. She's.
Oh no shit! Wow.
I always like Maggie Smith. Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures from it. I don't think I can. I can't sit through that. Nah.
Yeah.
Venom.
It is a Shout Factory movie, and they do kind of tend to specialize in schlock. So it could be just kind of a rubbish movie with some big names in it.
Rubbish.
So besides that, we have Venom on 4K, and I think I brought this up last month. Part of my brain was telling me, Trevor, you probably should go see that in the theater just to like appease the 8-year-old in you. Mm-hmm. Just for the novelty of seeing a Venom movie in the theater, because 8-year-old Trevor, if a Venom movie came out, 8-year-old Trevor would have run to the theater to go see it.
Yeah, an 8-year-old Kyle would have gone too.
Exactly. So I heard it was bad. I don't expect much from it, but part of me is like, man, I probably should have went out to go see that. And I guess it's coming out on December 18th, so I can rent it or something like that and finally check out if it's any good.
Oh, no, that's a movie that they're going to be like, you have to buy this on Amazon Prime.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to try to make their money back. Although I think it actually did fine in the theaters, as bad as the reviews were.
Yeah, dude, they'll get the money from the box office. They just don't have to make they just have to make enough to make their money back. They don't have to be good movies. They just have to get you there to pay for it, which is why I'm like, yep, I'm not going to go see that in the theater.
Yeah, there was a big like controversy over Venom because it did well. Apparently the rights to the character and like Spider-Man are still kind of held under control by Sony. And the idea was, if it did bad, like if it did poorly, and this animated movie that's coming out soon, Into the Spider-Verse, if both of those did poorly, like the fans were hoping that Sony would release the rights to Spider-Man and Disney would gobble them up, and then we could have Spider-Man in all of our movies.
Yeah.
But I guess now it's like, nope, deal's not done. So you're gonna have to stomach Spider-Man being separate from the Marvel movies for the foreseeable future.
I wonder how much these are going to cost. So this is pretty much the last release before Christmas, so that's why there's a lot of these big ones.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if these are going to cost an arm and a leg just because of the timing. The Jerk, which I'm not a Steve Martin fan, but in fairness, I haven't seen this movie. I know people like Steve Martin. I'm just not a big fan.
I like Steve Martin. I'd need to rewatch The Jerk because it's been a really long time and I barely remember it. But I do have a friend who holds it in very high regard. It's kind of a beloved movie. I can see why they're re-releasing it.
I couldn't get through Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Like I reached a point basically where they make him look good. Like, okay, I'm done. This is not doing anything for me. And of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but that's John Candy. Like, I'm not there for Steve Martin.
You stay for John Candy.
You stay for John Candy. The Shield, which I haven't seen a minute of, couldn't care less.
Yeah, kind of put Michael Chiklis on the map. It was really big when it was on FX, but yeah, I never watched it. By the way, kind of weird seeing him on Seinfeld with hair.
Dracula, Prince of Darkness, is that Christopher Lee? That's the Christopher Lee one. I think that's on Prime right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Every single one of these catching up on Blu-rays we've done, it seems like every month one of these Hammer Dracula movies gets released, like one at a time. And beside that horror of Dracula, I think that was that may have been the first Christopher Lee Hammer Dracula movie.
Mm.
I'd like to run through them at some point, but like I mentioned in previous episodes, apparently Christopher Lee seriously objected to the way the movies were scripted, to the point that like he refused to speak most of the dialogue. So I guess like he's in them and he's acting, but he disagrees with the decisions of the director, and he's not afraid to like force alterations to the script.
Gotcha.
The Predator on 4K.
This is bullshit.
We did a long talk about that.
I don't like this cover because it looks like Predator. Like that's kind of the cover for Predator, and I'm like, oh, they've got Predator on 4K. I'm like, oh no, that's the Predator, but that's the same. Yeah, I don't like how they're marketing that.
If I'm reviewing the cover art, yeah, I kind of hate this cover too.
Yeah.
Because it's not a good image. I hate that the title is vertically oriented.
Mm-hmm.
It takes away a lot of the power of that font. And then below that, the row below has the skull poster of the Predator. Better. And I hate that one even more.
Oh, really? Because I like, if you're going to do the Predator, that's your cover. Don't use the one from the original.
Neither of these covers really do it for me.
Well, the movie didn't do it for you, so I can...
But you know what? I'm going to buy it on 4K, and I'm going to rewatch it, and I'll probably be like, yeah, it was okay.
What is this? The house with clocks on the walls or some shit? I haven't...
Jack Black, and is that Cate Blanchett?
Yeah, that's Cate Blanchett. You can tell by the cheekbones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jack Black is usually fun. I know he's very internationally popular, so it looks like one of those fanciful kids films or something that probably made a truckload of money overseas, but very little here.
A Simple Favor has Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, so I'm probably not going to watch that.
A mommy blogger in a small town discovers her best friend has vanished. That cover doesn't communicate that to me at all.
Nope.
The Seahawk.
I knew you were gonna pop. I knew you were gonna say that.
I haven't seen it, but I mean that Errol Flynn Robin Hood movie was a huge part of my childhood, so maybe I should look it up someday.
Another Criterion, Panique.
Yeah. What do we got here? And after an elderly maid is murdered, opinions are manipulated, evidence is planted, violence erupts, and panic ensues. Jesus, 1946.
It's 1946, and
it sounds like a 1946 movie. They would give 1946 people heart attacks.
Yeah. I'm not finding it on IMDb. That is odd.
Interesting.
It's a Criterion. I can tell you can see the C up there.
Yeah, and there's another one directly beneath it. Sawdust and Tinsel, 1953. Aging circus performer Albert angers his mistress when he visits his estranged wife, triggering a roundelay of sexual betrayal and emotional anguish. By the way, Criterion's supposed to be getting their own streaming service or something. Are you going to be investing in that?
You know, I feel, I'll be honest with you, I bought Red Desert, and I'm actually in the process of, Kajimusha is on Barnes & Noble online to buy Blu-ray for like $20. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the Barnes & Noble and see if I can get it there. It's like $40 there. So I'm like, okay, oof. Yeah, right. And then I'm like, well, how much is Seven Samurai? Because I was gonna get that one, or Yojimbo, and I'm like, they're all like $40 here. So I'm gonna get Kajimusha on the Barnes, and I asked for it for Christmas and see if it happens, because it's like $20. And like, we need stuff for Christmas. I'm like, fine, see if you can find it. Kajimusha on Blu-ray. But I bought Red Desert on Blu-ray, and I finally got around to watching it. I feel like I would prefer owning these on Blu-ray, just because it's kind of like, especially with Red Desert, it's like owning art, because it's an art film, legit. It's kind of allegory. There's a plot, but the plot's kind of not that important. It's more visual storytelling. And I like having the physical meat. I like having it just, I don't have to rely on Wi-Fi. Like, I can just punch it in and like go to a specific scene if I want to. So I don't really know. I'm
just curious, because every time you see that C, it seems like your eyes light up, and it's like, well,
I like the idea of buying them and like not knowing what to expect, and like it's kind of like being able to rent a movie because I just own it, and I feel like if I have it, I'm not gonna hate that I have it. Like I have Eraserhead, I might watch that one more time before I die. I'm probably gonna watch the short films before long, but I like having the physical copy of it. So I don't know if I'm gonna invest in the streaming.
Well, the folks at home can't see the shelf behind me, but clearly I'm in the same boat as you are.
Yeah.
So moving on, I don't have anything to say about it, but The Blue Knight has William Holden in it, and he's the lead in I think Network. Which, have you seen Network?
No.
You really ought to put that on your list. That's a great ass movie.
Network.
Yeah.
What year?
I think it was early 70s or late 60s. Probably early 70s. And he's also the lead in The Wild Bunch, which is I don't care that much for westerns, but I've mentioned it before. I absolutely adore that movie.
See, I don't like westerns either. Maybe that's something I should try watching. I have westerns I like.
I think
but
you
I
might
don't...
like the Wild Bunch because it's not a traditional western, because it actually takes place in the 1910s.
Okay.
So it's the end of the cowboy era. And it's about the transition where it's like these are cowboys without the frontier anymore. So even the guns that they have like Colt 45s. They don't have 6-shooters. And below that, Assassination Nation. I heard that was pretty good, controversial but good. It's if I remember right, like it's about like basically a lady uprising, like something along those lines, where it's like all the bad things in the world came from men, so all the women revolt or something. I think it came from a very young director, and it has a style to it that is eye-catching.
Okay.
I don't know if it's good in the traditional sense, but some critics that I follow gave it high praise.
I was gonna say these other movies I don't really know too much. I see the Dorian Gray one. I've seen a version of it. I've read the book. I don't need it. But I don't know if anything else is popping out to you. But Marwen Call, is that what that says?
Yeah. So there's a movie coming out. It's a Robert Zemeckis movie with Steve Carell in the lead. And this is a documentary, I believe. Mm-hmm. And the movie is an adaptation of this man's life. So it's about a man that like suffered brain damage and PTSD in World War II.
Jesus.
And it's about his therapy, basically. The movie looks very good.
It does look fascinating.
I am a huge mark for Robert Zemeckis, and I think it's called Welcome to Marwen. So it's Steve Carell as this severely damaged vet, doing self-therapy, and it's about like his support system trying to get him through things. But it has a really interesting visual style to it.
It's directed by Jeff Malmberg.
Yeah, like I said, that looks like a documentary.
Yeah.
That's from 2010. So that's what prompted the production of the Bob Zemeckis movie.
Hey Trevor, do you ever wonder what Adrian Brody and Bruce Willis might be up to?
They're working in China. I saw a trailer for this movie a long time ago. It's called Airstrike.
Oh my gosh.
This would be about Chinese counterattack on the Japanese in World War II, around there. Holy shit. If there is one subgenre of film that is really prevalent in Asian countries that aren't Japan, it's movies where Japanese get bombed.
I was gonna say,
the Grudge is still very much alive and well in that corner of the world.
I was gonna say, I think the first foreign film I've seen technically is Tora Tora Tora.
Really?
Yeah,
that was a co-production, I think.
It was a co-production.
It was a joint production, American and Japanese.
I'd say 60-40 Japan.
Yeah.
in Japan's favor. But yeah, I watched it in class in the 7th grade.
Yeah, that seems like a movie you'd put on for class.
It was supposed to be historical. What is this? The Super with Val Kilmer?
Yeah. What? Yeah, Val Kilmer. I was about to say he looks like Vincent Price.
It looks kind of eerie.
A man becomes the superintendent of a large New York City apartment building where people mysteriously go missing. So he is the super.
Okay, he looks scary.
He looks like Danny Trejo and Vincent Price had a baby.
Yeah, that's right on the nose. I mean,
and he's very far removed from Iceman at this point.
This doesn't look that bad. It's 6.1 out of 10. I mean, that's not fantastic, but I'm looking at some
cover. I like the image. I like the font. It's from last year. It's from 2017.
There's literally a shot in here that looks like Kubrick's The Shining. Like, it looks like a shot from The Shining. I think it looks like the exact same set, nearly. If you look it up on IMDb and look at the pictures, you'll find it.
Okay.
Yeah. Move along.
Move along.
Saw the 8-film collection. Nobody needs that.
A bunch of anime. Bunch of old anime. Zabunguru. That's like from the 80s. And God Mars, that's probably from the 80s. All Blue Seeds from the 90s. Something called White Boy Rick.
I've heard of that.
Story of teenager Richard Wersha Jr., who became an undercover informant for the FBI during the 1980s and was ultimately arrested for drug trafficking. Okay.
Okay.
And I guess the end of this list here is a re-release of Hellboy 2 for some reason.
Well, because the what's his name? Big guy.
Ron Perlman?
No, he's taking over for Ron Perlman. He's in A Walk Among the Tombstones.
I know who you're talking about.
David I think it's David something.
Harbour, I think.
David Harbour, yeah. He's supposed to be playing the new Hellboy, and I'm assuming since there's a did you say Deadpool or Hellboy?
Hellboy.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. I would say, considering that there's another release of that, I'm assuming that some trailers are going to be dropping here around Christmas time because the Christmas Day movies. What is the Christmas Day movie this year?
In the theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's look that up.
I think it's I know exactly what it is. It is the Peter Jackson Peter Jackson produced movie.
Oh, the Mortal Mortal Engines?
Mortal Machine? Yeah, Mortal Machines. I think that's what it is.
It's not that. There's a young adult series called Mortal Instruments. Mm-hmm. But this one is called Mortal Engines.
Mortal Engines. There we go.
Yeah, and I've heard some bad shit about this.
I thought it looked kind of cool. I thought it might be kind of fun. It
looks amazing, like from a visual standpoint, but the production history of it, what little I know. So apparently, what happened was Peter Jackson gobbled up the rights to this book series, the Mortal Engines, because he thought it was a really cool idea, and it kind of is, at least from a visual standpoint.
Yeah.
And I guess it was a Fantastic Four situation where the timing, it was basically we got to act now, or we lose the rights to this, and someone else gobbles it up. So it's like we need to make a movie now, and he's like, I'm not ready. It's like, well, we got to do it now. It's like, well, I guess we're making a movie.
I would have said Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, which I wanted to see until recently. I've heard that it's not good from somebody whose opinion I take very seriously. Apparently, it's not worth the time. So I think Aquaman or Mary Poppins Returns are the Christmas movies.
When does Mary Poppins come out? Mortal Engines comes out on the 14th, I think. So that's not quite the Christmas movie.
Mary Poppins comes out on the 19th, as well as Aquaman.
Oh, so probably be a battle between those two.
I think that that is tough. I would prefer it go to Mary Poppins because I'm not gonna go. I don't want to go see Aquaman in the theater. That dude's a terrible actor. I could not stop. I might go watch it just to laugh at it. Cause
if you do, let me know. because I'm just curious enough that I might want to go see it.
It's just the trailer, man. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, when we went to see The Predator, we were sitting side by side, and you were just tittering like a little schoolgirl.
Patrick Wilson in that fucking wig, whatever they have on his head is just so funny.
What's funny is I really like Patrick Wilson, and
I do too.
Seeing him like that in his undersea power armor, I was just like, I don't know, Pat. I don't know.
Well, he's jumping on this. I mean, this is DC.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, this is DC, so he's jumping on some kind of wagon.
No, this is very much Warner Brothers and Disney going head to head.
Yeah. He's like, hey,
so,
fuck it.
I mean, Wesley Snipes said always bet on black. Always bet on the mouse. I mean, it goes without saying.
Bet on the mouse. Yes, bet on the mouse.
I'm sorry, giant Hawaiian Aquaman, but I gotta back the mouse on this one.
I got a bad feeling about this one. Buddy.
He's got reach on you, Jason. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
anyway,
that's pretty much all the releases.
Yeah, so that concludes our catching up on Blu-ray for December 2018. Join us again in a month for I guess January 2019.
Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot.